Hey everyone, welcome back. So it's getting to be that time of year here in Wisconsin. It is currently today, November 6th. It's cold, it's about 49 degrees here, and we are just taking our Chrysler 300 SRT in for a end of year quick little repair that needed to happen here. And I will show you what is going on. So I noticed some squeaking when I started the vehicle, which actually I'll just let you listen to right now. Hopefully it works here, or it actually squeaks. And we're just taking it in right now. Yep, you can hear that squeak. It's the serpentine belt that needs to be replaced along with the tensioner pulley. So essentially we're bringing in the 300 right now to do that, and this might be the final drive with it for the year. So I figured, well, since we're given no more guarantees to drive this, let's do an end of season review here of the 300 and my 2 summers of ownership, or my spring and summers of ownership right now. And let's hop in and I'll give you my thoughts on the vehicle after basically 2 seasons of ownership and 976 miles of driving this year, and overall 4,287 miles of driving total since I bought the car. I have owned many vehicles in my lifetime so far, and while the 300 is not the most expensive, or it's not the nicest, this 07 example of it, or not the vehicle with the lowest miles that I have, it's always been my dream car, and it was one of my, I would say, first enthusiast vehicles that I have purchased, and it still remains a steadfast vehicle in my fleet. And I have to say, it's right up there as one of my favorite vehicles in my fleet still, if not my most favorite vehicle to drive, because A, it just looks pure badass, B, it's super fast, C, it's really comfortable, and D, for me, is the history of the brand. I'm a Mopar die-hard enthusiast. I love Mopar. I've owned a ton of Mopars in my life. Not necessarily enthusiast vehicles, but I mean, 3 Ram trucks, a 200 hardtop convertible, this 300 SRT, my Challenger SRT, my Jeep SRT, my Monaco with a 318 in it. The list just goes on and on. My parents' RT Tow-and-Go Durango. My dad's got a Grand Caravan, or a Town and Country, excuse me. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So, I just wasn't, because of the fact that I did sell my Ram truck, I purchased a Jeep SRT, I wasn't able to drive this vehicle as much as I wanted to, in part of the fact that I bought a Challenger, a Jeep SRT, or a Challenger SRT, and now my Dodge Monaco. This vehicle here just kind of got pushed to the back burner of driving, if you will, and hence why now on my last drive of the year, I'm probably only going to be pushing 1,000 miles on the vehicle this whole year, and we had a long year. I think I started driving this right around April, beginning of April, and I was able to drive it up until today, November 6th, and I think next week I may pull it out for a day, depending if the weather is decent. But overall, this car, granted, I've only put a little over 4,000 miles on this vehicle since I bought it, so I'm not the best use case scenario for the vehicle, but it's my most favorite car to drive, in part because it's just such a badass sleeper looking vehicle. I mean, I already gave you the reasons why I love the car, but in terms of repairs on it, this is really the first issue that's arose, was the serpentine belt issue, and I don't have the numbers in front of me. I already prepaid for it. Once I get the receipt, I'll be able to tell you what they did to it, and how they, what they replaced. besides replacing brake pads and rotors up front and putting new rear tires on, this is the only true repair that I've had done. I've only changed oil twice at the end of the season. I do that, so I just got it done here, and now again I won't need to do it until next year, of course. So not bad for ownership of a going on 20-year-old vehicle, which is crazy to think this first generation SRT product is almost 20 years old already and can still provide great performance. But overall, I gotta say, I'm very happy with it. If I had the money, I would have 2 of these. I, of course, keep the vehicles in my fleet, but I would have 2 of these. I'd have, a higher mileage one, and I'd have a lower mileage one just to keep, because I just love driving this car. Or I'd buy a newer 300 with the 5.7 liter and keep this one, because these vehicles are so fun to drive. Honestly, for being a modern boat in today's words, this is honestly a lightweight in its class now, considering it's 4,200-ish pounds, somewhere around there. And now, all these vehicles are these full-size sedans now, M5s, 7 Series, E-Class, S-Class. I mean, those vehicles are all approaching 5,000 to 6,000 pounds. That's what my Jeep SRT weighs. So this really is a lightweight in its class now, and this is the best driving SRT vehicle, in my opinion, of them all. It's weighted perfect. Of course it's not as good as the newer products that SRT makes, but back in its day, if you're choosing the Magnum, Challenger, Ram Truck, 300, the Crossfire, the Jeep, whatever they had to offer back in 07, kind of that first gen of SRT products, this 300 was the perfect car, because yes, it's leaning on the sporty side, but at the same time, there's enough comfort in here to road trip this car and take it on your favorite back road on the weekend. It's great. It really is. It just kicks ass too. I mean, the power is plentiful and endless, and I really think the 300 historically, even this first gen, is a top 3 SRT vehicle ever made. Number 1, of course, being the Ram Truck, the TRX. Number 2 being the Jeep SRT / Trackhawk. Number 3 being the 300 SRT, because it's kind of the vehicle that started it all. Started the SRT craze back in 05. And for that reason, I have a deep love for this vehicle. I really do. And I've contemplated selling it, but at the end of the day, I just can't get myself to do it. It's my dream car, a black SRT 300, first gen. It's my dream car. It's a car I dreamed about when I was 10 years old, and I'm like, holy crap! This vehicle is kick-ass. It's what I wanted my parents to get. Of course, they didn't have the money back then, and now it's used and it's affordable to me, and I love it. And yes, there's a lot of better options out there than this vehicle for the money that I paid for it when I bought it, but I don't care. I mean, to each his own. So, with that being said, guys, I'm gonna head to the dealership, get this issue fixed up with the serpentine belt, and report back to you. All right, guys. So we got the car back here. The price for the serpentine belt was $80.80, and of course, in that was the install belt and tensioner. So I also wanted to, I had a little bit of sorry about that, my bumper was essentially, there was a panel gap between my bumper and the actual car, so I needed to have them reattach that as well. And the total cost for everything today, labor was $167.70. The parts were $80.80, and I already paid $85.24 for the special order deposit, so my total today came to $176.93. So the labor was really expensive for, and this dealership did get bought out by a larger dealership, so that probably has a little bit to do with it here. But the labor was pretty expensive here for about 45 minutes of work. Holy crap. So otherwise though, the job was done. It was fine. I prepaid for part of it here. Like I said, the dealership was bought out by a larger dealership, so again, it is what it is. But essentially, really, at the end of the day here, I've only had to spend really on maintenance on the vehicle, besides your normal oil changes, probably, I don't know, $300-400, about $400 on the vehicle over, 2 years of ownership, essentially. So at the end of the day, I'm not upset by that. It's an almost 20-year-old car. I mean, what do you expect? Stuff goes wrong with vehicles, but overall, very happy here. I have a buddy that's a mechanic too that I could have easily taken this to, and it would have been a hell of a lot cheaper, but I'm not going to pester him for, this minor inconvenience stuff. So overall, very happy with the services done, and I'm happy with the car. I guess, if you guys are looking to buy one of these, go ahead and do it, especially, here's the one issue I do have with this car. The transmission is just not great. The transmission on this is not great. It's the old Mercedes 5-speed, the NAG 1 Mercedes 5-speed transmission. It's not great. I mean, it kicks really hard. It's not super smooth. It's not super fast to respond. But other than that, it's a great car. If you're a diehard Mopar fan and you're looking to get one of these vehicles for $15,000 to $20,000, there's, in my opinion, unless you're getting a Miata or something, and that's a completely different vehicle, or maybe you're trying to find a Pontiac G8 GT out there, but really that's kind of tough to find. I mean, for that $15,000 to $20,000 enthusiast price range for a large V8 vehicle, this is a one-stop shop. This is it. So, I mean, if you're looking to have a fun weekend car or a cruiser you can take with your girlfriend or your wife, whatever, this car's perfect for you. You can have fun. You can have fun in the corners. You can have a hell of a lot of fun on a straight line. And honestly, just when I was leaving Rice Lake there, I was at a stoplight and a guy in a diesel truck wanted to race, so of course I had to put the pedal down and roast the tires a little bit. I mean, wherever you go, if you live the SRT life, you will find yourself racing, whether you like it or not. So with that being said, the last 2 years of ownership have been probably my best years of ownership of owning a vehicle, especially this 300. I have no regrets about buying it. Everything is great in it. Like I said, it attracts attention, which honestly, hey, that's okay for a sleeper. I do appreciate that, and wherever I go, I mean, everybody's asking, about the SRT, because they see the badge, they see the vehicle. Most people know what it is, and I appreciate driving a vehicle that people know and people like. So if you guys are really looking for one of these, I highly recommend going after 300. It's the best bang for your buck that you can get for a big V8 muscle car, especially in today's market. So with that being said, I guess this is probably the last time you're going to be seeing 300 content now until next spring. But anyway, with that being said, 2-season ownership review here of this car. It's been nothing but good memories and fun times, and I truly appreciate that. So we'll see you guys later in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.